Hey, what's up? It's your girl Nic, and you're tuned in to Nic at Night. And tonight I'm going to be talking about the unrealistic expectations and obsession that surrounds Nic and Olandria that makes everybody else be the villain, aka Ace, Shelly, and anybody else who doesn't stand something that is so obviously, well, we'll get there. But I have, it's an acquired taste over here, and this is going to be a very unpopular opinion type style video. Now, the popular opinion is that, this is the couple that everybody loves. They want to see them grow, get married, have babies, and all of these unrealistic expectations on people who barely got together a week before they exited the villa and have only known each other for 2 months. Now, a lot of people who watch Love Island, they watch different connections grow, they watch different personalities as individuals, and they grew parasocial relationships with a lot of the cast members. Olandria had a very likable personality on the show, and she had what looked like an unfair shake as it pertains to her dating experience, being aligned with a guy by the name of Taylor, who did not really like her, and he wasn't really physically attracted to her, but he strung her along until somebody came in the villa that he liked. Now, Nic was coupled up with a girl by the name of Sierra, and when he was even coupled up with Sierra, they were hunching in the villa. They were having intercourse in the same, vicinity. They were teeter-tottering off and on, and he only seemed to secure Sierra when his time in the villa seemed to be threatened, and he didn't have another girl to latch onto. Now, did he show signs that he truly likes Sierra? No. Does he show signs that he's truly into Olandria? No. Not in my opinion. Does he show signs that he was trying to align with what kept him on the show and what gave him the most exposure? That's what it looked like to me. Now, when you're watching this show, you have to realize that these people are in a competition. In a competition, the objective is to win. So am I mad at Nic for playing the game and trying to win? No. I'm mad at the audience for creating unrealistic expectations, therefore making everybody else the villain when they call it out. All right? I'm mad that people are so obsessed with certain things that they seemingly need to go touch grass. It's getting to a point to where it's, to me, it's like drawing the line into like an unhealthy obsession at this point. Now, Ace did an interview and he talked about whether or not the love romance between the two was real. And the interview was clipped and put on the blogs. And in my opinion, it was taken out of context. Now, if you just look only at the vlog and you don't look at the actual full interview in its entire context, it does look extremely messy. Okay, it looks like, okay, well, even if their relationship isn't real, why are you the one to speak on it and like trying to kind of hint, stop their bag or infringe on the bag that they have with this fake relationship? Now, once I watched the full context, I understood what he was getting at, and I understood why he said what he said, and I understood why he simply did not give a fuck. Okay? And in a climate where real is rare, I can see why he's vilified to the magnitude that he is. A lot of people gravitate towards phony, and a lot of people would rather live in delusion because it is a reflection of their dating life. Now, on the show, it seemingly looked like Olandria was the underdog, right? She didn't get a fair shake. She had this guy that was stringing her along, and she really was like played with on the show. her experience on the show, I feel like mirrors a lot of women in real life experience dating men. They start dating men, not using discernment, not really fully discerning if you're investing in somebody that really don't rock with you for real. And then you get the short end of the stick because you put your all in a person that's giving you nothing. All right. And because a lot of people have resonated with that experience of not having discernment when dating, not discerning when a guy really ain't really rocking with you for real. And then you get heartbroken in the end because it's really not what it's never gave. Then you have this heartbroken situation and you just desperately kind of want something that is a decent connection. Because a lot of people's real life mirrored that essence, they gravitated to her and wanted to see her win. Now, she was then coupled up with Nic after his Love Island connection left the villa. Now, when his Love Island connection left the villa, they had just made it exclusive, okay? They had just made it exclusive. They were hunching it, back and forth, sleeping with each other. They claim they were locked in. And that was after they realized that, he didn't really have any other options to cling on to, okay? He got X out the show, and the show was like, you know what? You're really good for ratings, in my opinion, I believe. They wanted to keep him on because a lot of the girls found him attractive. And they wanted to keep her on, in my opinion, because a lot of people gravitated to her personality, which she seemed like she had a nice personality. She didn't really come off like a hater. She didn't really come off like she didn't have genuine intentions. She came off like, a down-to-earth girl next door, and that made people want her to win. They decided that they were going to go back to the villa. She was going to go back and, go in as the connection with Nic, but go after the guy that she really wanted and explore Taylor. And she realized that he really wasn't here for her at all. All right. So she went into the villa with him, and she realized that Taylor really wasn't here for her. So what do I do to keep on the show? I stay attached to Nic. Nic doesn't have a connection. What do I do to stay on the show? I stay attached to Olandria. All right. She said in this sit down that they made an agreement that they were going to have each other's back to basically stay in the game. Okay. And so, that's how we ended up here. Now, when they became aligned and when they got coupled up, it was 1 week left into the villa. All right. So 1 week they are talking after she was head over heels for Taylor, after he was fake exclusive with Sierra, after he was hooking up left and right, swapping spit with 30,000 people, kissing each other, swapping slobs with everybody. America saw them together and they came up with this thing of, oh, he always wanted her. Oh, he always wanted to be with her. Now, this is what I need America and a lot of women who don't have discernment to understand the difference. A guy can feel you physically attractive. Now, where Taylor did not find her physically attractive, do I think Nic found her physically attractive? Yes. But where people they lose discernment is they mix up somebody who will fuck you with somebody actually wanting you. And because she was somebody that I'm sure he wouldn't mind fucking, and he was physically attracted to, they are equating a 1 week coupling, okay, with fairy tale romance. Okay, they're like, oh, he licked her toe. Oh, he gave her a kiss and said she was a good kisser. So obviously he wanted her. He wanted to marry her and have babies with her and go off to the sunset. And I'm like, can we go outside, go in your front lawn, touch grass, come to reality? Like, can we? Like, This was 1 week in after she was head over heels for Taylor. And he was fake exclusive, hunching and bunching with Sierra and trying to flock to any girl that he could. Can we, after 1 week of them being together, because he licked her foot and said that she was a good kisser, can we go and find the nearest patch of grass and touch it? All right. So when they get out of the villa, they couple up and they obviously instantly have this big audience of people who were standing them being together. All right. And the reason why I feel like a lot of people were standing them together is, like I said, I feel like a lot of Black women have been done wrong by Black men, felt slighted, didn't really use the best discernment. And when they found her to start aligning with Nic and he gave her a couple smiles, they were okay with that. And they felt like, oh, she's deserving of this king. And I'm like, this king who was just not really feeling Sierra, stringing her along the same way that Taylor was stringing Olandria along. Let's be honest, Nic was stringing Sierra along and just waiting for the opportunity. The same way Taylor was waiting for a girl that he actually liked to really come in and lock in with. The same was going on with Nic, but it just didn't happen. So you have this person that people are, acting like they're just so in love, and they're so, they're shipping them, as people say, like they're putting them in this romance, right? So they grow this popularity online, and people are into them being a couple, right? And I think another reason that people are so into them being a couple is because they have this obsession with Black women being with white men. Now, that also comes from feeling like Black men have slighted them. So they have this idea, and it's something that is also on TikTok, where if you leave Black men, you go to other races, you're going to have happily ever after, because people put up these personas and then you almost always see it's not really what it's made out to be. Just going to another race, different color, same problems. Okay. But, if she was a man in this same situation, but this was a white girl that he went to, none of the Black women would be for it. But because it's a Black woman and a white guy, it's oh my God, hard eyes. It's crazy. So Ace basically went on to a podcast, and Kelly P says, such a bad take. Obviously, I said this is an unpopular opinion. A lot of y'all have been brainwashed to think that this is happily ever after. So again, my take won't be for you. Okay. If you think that they love each other and they about to get married and they happily ever after, again, my take obviously would be a bad take for you, because I don't see it the way you see it. I'm in reality, y'all in Fantasyland. Okay. My take don't mirror Fantasyland. I'm just saying. But anyways, so Ace did an interview, and he basically said that he feels as though Nic told him there was no true romantic spark. All right. He said that there was no true romantic spark between them. And this is how that went. So let me pull up what he said.
Do you feel like Olandria and Nic's relationship is real? Is this you thinking, or is this your answer? I'm going to assume that that's your answer. Mm-hmm. Is that tough for you because Olandria is someone that you consider to be a close friend?
Yeah, it really is tough for me, because again, she just came out here for Shelly's birthday, and we all spent a time together at the club, and we all caking it like that. So I have a lot of respect for Olandria, but again, from the last conversation that I've had with Nic, it was a matter of it's not a romantic spark. They just They just, you know what I'm saying? They find each other attractive.
Nic and Olandria's relationship, you've expressed in silence, you've expressed your opinions on that. Do you think that the other relationships that have come from Love Island are real?
Yeah, Taylor and Clark. I know that's for sure real.
All right. So if you listen to this and you don't listen to it in the full context, then you will feel like, okay, he being messy, even if it's fake, why is it his place to kind of bomb on them getting their bag? And you're entitled to feel how you feel. You can feel like he's a hater. He was hating on them. You can feel like it's Napoleon complex, like Una in Wonderland said. You can feel like, oh, he's only loyal to himself, as Empress said. And you can feel all of those things. However, if you're a real individual like myself, real recognize real. And when you see the full context of what he actually was saying, and you understand that it was not coming from a place of being a hater on Nic and Olandria's relationship per se. It was more so because I got love for Olandria, I see the plot. And I see that he's not really here for her. Like, I'm her friend, and I don't really see, you know what I mean? It's like one of those things to where it's like, yo, have you ever had a friend when you was in high school or you was in middle school and your mama or your daddy said, that's not your real friend? And you like, oh, that's really my friend, mom. You don't know what you're talking about. And then you experience something and you realize, dang, mom was right all along. She knew that that wasn't really my friend. And she knew that that's what it was. That's kind of the take that he was taking here. But because people are so obsessed in this unrealistic obsession, they didn't listen to what he said. OK, he was basically saying, I got love for Olandria, and I'm going to go to the full context of it. He is basically saying, I got love for Olandria, but based on what I know, that's not it. OK. And the reason why he also said it is because he was asked about his friendship with Nic. Speedy asked him a question and he said, who do you consider a real friend in the villa? Now, he named Taylor, he named a couple people, and he did not name Nic. And Speedy wanted to know, well, why didn't you name Nic as your friend? Like, y'all seem like y'all was cool. Y'all seem like y'all was close. And Ace basically said, like, I don't really rock with people who say something in my face differently than what they say to the public. All right. And if you're really my friend and you care about my well-being, you're not going to say PR answers that can hurt my brand. Because as an individual, all of these people are a brand. OK, and if you're my friend, you're not going to say something that hurt my brand. And you know what the climate is around my brand if you really rock with me. So when it comes to me being asked a question about you, I'm not going to shy away from not keeping it real to save face for your brand. You didn't give a fuck about mine, so why should I give a fuck about yours? And obviously, Olandria was collateral damage in that. But to me, if you listen to the full context of it, that's basically what he was saying. Okay? That's basically what he was saying. But again, people are delusional. They like to live in delusion land. They like to obsess over these unrealistic ideas, and they don't listen to comprehend. They already have a dislike for him because they feel like a lot of black women who Jeremiah would never date, they feel like, oh, how can you get rid of the guy that was the most attractive? Oh my God, you're a hater. And so they're mad at him because he got rid of their eye candy off the screen. So they're mad at him for that. Even though in this video, we see that it was a lot of influences from production that shaped the things that happened. So he's saying he's basically so they're mad at him for that, even though Jeremiah made it clear he's into Hispanic or Latino looking women. And they would never have a chance. You see, he left the villa and went with Bella. It never gave you, but they're mad about it. And then they're mad because, you know, I think in my opinion, Ace is just too real for reality TV, in my opinion. But let's listen to a little bit.
I'm going to speak on what's real. What's real?
Yeah.
It is what it is, so.
What were your thoughts on Olandria and Nic getting dumped and then being brought back as a couple?
It's funny because I know Nic, you know, had found Olandria attractive day one. And, you know, when Nic got axed from the villa, and to see that Olandria got axed from the villa and they be coupled up again, my experience with that was, you know, they thought each other were attractive, but it was never going to be more than just friends right then and there. And they were just, you know, it was just going to be cool, you know, and just as time goes on, Sierra gets, you know, dragged out the villa. Now it's a thing where I'm feeling like I have to be catering to know what's going on between Nic and Olandria. What's going on between Nic and Olandria? You know, it's part of, you know, the Love Island, you know, experience. But
all right. So he said that, but let me address this comment real quick before we go on. Kelly P says, this girl must know Ace or his family because ain't no way she's serious. Ace is a hater. Ace is a hater to you. I don't know Ace. I don't know nobody in his family. I've never met Ace. I don't want to date Ace. Not attracted to Ace. I'm 38. He's 22. Not interested in him. So don't try to make it seem like, this is my take because I want him. I don't. He is a child to me. Okay. I don't know his family. I don't know him. I just understand what it looks like to be too real for certain settings. And in my opinion, I feel like in this fairy tale land of people who want to be fed lies and live in delusion, I feel like I understand how that can be something that people don't gravitate to. I'm a YouTuber it's an acquired taste over here. You know, it's an acquired taste over here. I'm not really the biggest preferred YouTuber because I'm not phony. I'm not fake. I'm not about to flock to opinions just to cater to whoever is a viewer. My opinion is not shaped on what y'all think. It's based on what I think. A lot of YouTubers, a lot of people, they look at what is popular. They look at the popular opinion and they just run with that to run the numbers up, because running with popular opinion, the more people that agree with you, the more your numbers run up. Me, I don't give a fuck. I'm going to stay true to me and what I think and what I feel and what I think. And there's that. So, you know, but anyways, let's continue to listen a little more. But I just wanted to stop and say that because I remember on another episode, somebody was like, oh, you know, you must want such an, like, anytime you don't have the same opinion as somebody, or you speaking on a man, they automatically think that you want the man. I don't want him. I would never date him. He's not my cup of tea. I just can understand the optics and I can see the delusion in a lot of people. That's simply what it is. So I just wanted to clear that up real quick. Another thing somebody said is, you must hate Olandria. In what way did anything that I say show that I hate her? I think she's a pretty girl. I think she has a head on her shoulders. She has a great personality. I think that she had the short end of the stick in the Taylor situation, but I think that some discernment could have been had. Okay. And that's just that. And I am a person, I live an hour outside of LA. I know that there are a lot of factors in reality TV that shape certain narratives. So I don't take this stuff too serious to where I just feel like it's real reality and real, like they just really about to go off in the sunset. Like I went to a taping of Love and Hip Hop where it was a club scene. One of my homeboys was on Love and Hip Hop. He invited me to come, like, oh, come. to one of my tapings. I'm having a performance scene where I'm gonna be rapping or whatever, and he basically told me to come, and it was a club scene that happened at 9 a.m. in the morning. We had to be there at 9 a.m. in the morning. The arguments were fake. They were pausing each other in the middle of arguments. Production was telling them what to say, what not to say. And I firsthand seen how reality TV give it up in real life. Like, I seen it. So I take these things for entertainment. A lot of y'all take it for like, this is real life and this is da 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 da. So that's why my opinion is not going to mirror you. Somebody said burn the cape. The cape where? Again, anytime a woman doesn't go with popular opinion or just, you know what I mean? Or just they think that you a pick me, or they think, no, there's no cape here. It's just real. It's real over here. And again, like I said, it's an acquired taste. But anyways, with that being said, and I wish Olandria the best. I think that another thing that I get irritated when it comes to the Olandria situation is a lot of people are discrediting her role on the show, what she brings to the show, her beauty, and they're attributing it to Nic. All of the opportunities that she has gotten, all of the modeling things that she has gotten is because of her appearance on this show, the exposure that Nic and her received on being on this show. And that is why she's able to be put in these situations. Just because Nic was a model before he entered the show does not mean that the connections that they are getting is because of Nic. The connections that both of them are afforded is because they were on a nationwide show that was widely popular. She had visibility. She had beauty of her own. And together, yes, they look good and brands gravitate to it. They see the popularity them combined have, and they're afforded opportunities because of that. A lot of y'all are taking her credit away, giving it to Nic. She got those opportunities because she showed up. She showed her personality. She showed her rawness, the way that she is. Okay. That's another thing that grinds my gears when it comes to this situation. I've seen too many people like, oh, she got all of these modeling gigs because of Nic. No, she got all of these modeling gigs because they both got on a show that gave them a lot of visibility. Somebody said it was his campaign before her and she was added. Okay. And was she added because of her visibility on the show? Like, that's what I'm saying. Somebody said, why you so mad? I'm not mad. I'm just saying, like, y'all be giving credit and y'all be saying stuff that's just ridiculous. That's what I'm saying. But anyways.
My last conversation with Nic before I left was, he finds her attractive. She finds him attractive, but they haven't found a romantic spark. And that was my conversation with him throughout this entire experience. So he was saying that it was nothing more than a physical attraction. It was just not at that romantic spark level.
Got you.
And, coming out the villa and, seeing that this whole Nic and Olandria thing has been a thing for a while, it's like damn, that's crazy. You know what I mean?
A lot of people on the internet felt as though there was like this brewing underlying romance between Nic and Olandria all along. Like, oh, I saw it. I could tell they were into each other. Yeah. As someone who was in the villa, did you see that? Like from the, like, oh, they're gonna end up together, or they really feeling each other?
Nah, because again, like, first week is a little bit hazy. Everybody's trying to get to explore everybody, and that's just that. But as time goes on, didn't nobody really, see a connection brewing from that. And even when Olandria got X from the island and she came over back to the villa, they had doubled down and said, yeah, nah, this ain't that trust. You know what I mean? So just to see all the commotion about now, I'm like, wow, it's crazy.
Was it Olandria maybe that didn't see Nic romantically, or was it Nic that didn't see her romantically?
I feel like it was both. Like, I felt like Olandria has been very adamant on telling me what her type is, and like, yo, my type is this. I see myself dating this. You know, I've experienced dating different backgrounds and stuff like that. But I knew for a fact Olandria wasn't going to openly explore that. And I know the same thing about Nic. I know Nic finds Olandria attractive. I know he finds her gorgeous, but she is. Like, don't get me wrong, Olandria is fire, but I know it wasn't that anymore than, what it was surface level. Because again, Nic had tested that connection. He said it wasn't enough for him, and he went back to Sierra. And then boom, again, Sierra gets axed, and now that's
He's
the thing.
back with Olandria.
Yeah.
So had Nic ever explicitly told you, yo, I'm interested in Olandria romantically?
No, like it's always been a fact of she's attractive.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And this is what a lot of people have to understand. When guys have conversations, they go into detail a little bit more than obviously what would be aired. Like, I think that if he was attracted to Olandria romantically, I don't think Ace is lying to say that neither one of them truly really was looking for that. Because on the show, you can see that, yeah, they kissed and slobbed it up. Yeah, he licked her foot, but she was actively pursuing Taylor. She was actively pursuing other people that came along, and he was not really trying to pair up with her on his own. They did that as a Hail Mary to save themselves to stay on the show. And I don't think that he's being a hater by saying nah, that's not what they told me. Okay? Because homeboys, they gonna have conversations about, I like this kind of girl, I like that kind of girl, this kind of girl, this kind of girl. They're gonna have those conversations. And that's basically what Ace is basically saying here is both of them told me what they like in an individual. They both told me what they get down was, and it was not each other. Okay? It wasn't really each other. So, and let's continue.
So what's it like for you now to come out the villa and Nic Olandria is like a movement?
Yeah.
As someone who experienced it firsthand, what is your reaction to Nic Olandria?
For me, reacting to the whole Nic Olandria thing, I was really happy for Olandria. Like, she had been dealt bad cards throughout that whole entire experience, and just to see her coming out and getting, a sense of happiness, that's what I really cared about throughout this whole entire process. So
I asked you how you felt about Nic Olandria, and you say you're happy for Olandria. What about Nic?
Yeah, I'm happy for Nic too. I'm happy for Nic too. I'm happy for both of them. It's just I'm really happy for Olandria because, again, we developed a really close bond in there as well.
Let's talk about the heart rate challenge.
Yeah, let's do it.
The heart rate challenge was a moment that rocked.
All right, so let me go a little bit further after the heart rate challenge.
I had told them, look, I was uncomfortable. To the hood, don't experience with that. Everybody was.
How tall are you?
Some could argue.
That's when you actually look short.
And what people don't understand is take shit head on in relationships.
That America voted for was the correct Final Four.
Yeah. The ugly of everything, and once I found that person who I feel I could share that with, I was ready to go home. Could give a damn about a prize, could give a damn about the recognition. You know what I mean? What we had, it was real. You know what I mean?
Do you feel like the other Islanders felt like the correct couples made the finale?
The conversations have been behind closed doors that certain couples shouldn't have been in the Final Four. And when we get in front of cameras, especially at the reunion, they didn't show this clip, but it happened, the Final Four should have been the Final Four, and everybody who got voted to the Final Four should have been there. And, it's crazy because it's supposed to be your friend in the process saying that.
Who said that?
Nic. Yeah. Yeah.
So Nic said, oh no, the Final Four that America voted for was the correct Final Four, excluding you and Shelly.
Right.
Interesting.
Which is perfectly fine, but it's like, that's not the conversations that we have behind closed doors. Right. And again, we get in front of cameras and
that's not what you said to me.
Exactly.
Do you find that happened frequently with people? Like they would say,
all right. So basically what he's saying is Nic didn't keep it real when they did the reunion. he asked Nic, or they had a conversation about how they felt things ended up. And when it got to being on camera, his boy basically didn't keep it real. So that also goes into, why should I fake the funk for you when in my face and in real life, you're not going to keep it real about what you said? Now, yes, America is the one that voted. Yes, they are the ones who said it, but they are people who had a conversation about what they felt about America's vote. So if America votes and they say, I want this water, that water, that water, you know, they have Dasani water, Crystal Geyser, Arrowhead water, and they say, you know what, I think Crystal Geyser is the winner, and then America votes for Crystal Geyser, and then you and your boy have a conversation and he said, you know what, I think Arrowhead should have won, or whatever. And then when y'all get the cameras rolling and then you ask him a question and then he's like, you know what, I think, I think Crystal Geyser should have won. You're going to look at your boy like you phony. Like, what you say, your word is not really your bond. That's not really what you stand on. And you're going to look at a person a particular type of way. Like, I am a person who, I'm a YouTuber and I've come in contact with a lot of different YouTubers, and you'll see people who run their platforms. I've literally had conversations with YouTubers about popular trending topics, right? I'll talk to them behind the scenes and they will say the total opposite from what they peddle to their audience. They will get on, they would be on the phone. They'd be like, yeah, you know, I really wasn't jacking that. I think that was whack, or this, da, da, da. And then when they get on their platform, because that opinion isn't popular opinion, they'll switch up and they'll say the complete opposite, and they will pander to their audience. Me, as a person who's not about to pander and I don't give up. Yes, do I want views? Obviously. Do I want to make money here? Obviously. But am I going to pander to y'all to get it? No. But you have people who will pander so that they can stay in good graces with popular opinion. And if you a real authentic individual and you not with that pandering shit, and you really like, what I feel is what I feel, you're gonna look at the people who do that a particular type of way. Like, wait a minute, I just talked to you and that is not what you said. I've experienced that so many times with YouTubers. Do I get on my platform and call them out? Absolutely not. I don't give a fuck enough to call them out, but I look at them a particular type of way. I like, a lot of people be like, oh, well, you know, oh, you was cool with this person. And they be like, you know, it'd be stuff behind the scenes that you peep, that you realize like, nah, I really can't. This person is really like type phony for real. Like, I can't really rock with that. To me, having the experience of being a YouTuber, having an experience of having other people that are my peers that have platforms that I talk to, I can understand his perception of that person being phony. Like, that's not what you said to me. And now you switching up. That made me feel like you're not really solid for real. And you just gonna go however the wind blow. Like, you just gonna, when it come down to it, when it come down to having my back, are you going to have my back for real? Or are you just gonna blow with what you think is popular at the end of the day? And I feel like after that point, that made him look at him a certain type of way. Like, I'm not about to cape for you and have your back if you showed me that you just gonna run with what's popular and you gonna switch up and you gonna fold in the end. I don't blame him for that. And I feel like that's why when it came to Speedy asking him about if Nic and Olandria is real, I think that was one of those things to where he threw Nic under the bus, but him throwing Nic under the bus, Olandria was collateral damage. And I understand where it's like, okay, well, if you got love for Olandria, don't throw her out as collateral damage to get at Nic. I'm not going to say that wasn't wrong of him to do, because if you love Olandria and you see what she building, even though this shit is fake and phony or whatever, don't mess up what she got. I understand that, and I'm not going to justify it, but am I mad at him because he did it? Am I thinking that like, oh, I'm going to cancel him. And no, I understand why he did it. Do I agree with it? Do I think that it was the right move? No, but I understand why he did it. So, you know, that is what it is.
One thing, and then in front of the cameras, it would be a different
I feel like majority of the cast, though, it was like that. Like, I've had people's backs with no loyalty towards these people. I still had your back in the process. And you get in front of cameras and it's either silent or you stand in something else that you know is not what it is behind the scenes, and it's okay.
At some point, it appeared as a viewer that there was a cold sore breakout in the villa at some point. Did that happen? But there are certain things that you've withheld and have spoke carefully about. And these are some questions that I want to give you the opportunity to speak bluntly and openly to the extent that you feel comfortable.
Yeah.
Starting with this, Shelly and Olandria were said to have been bullies. That's a narrative that we saw unfold on the internet. I did not see that whatsoever. Yeah. You were in the villa. Right. I was not. Did you find Shelly and Olandria to be bullies, particularly to Huda?
I feel like throughout that entire time in the villa, Olandria and Shelly held themselves up like the queens that they are. I feel like the black people on this show found themselves being therapists to other people's couples. And that was the toughest thing for me because, again, a lot of the shit I didn't give a damn about to talk with somebody else. Of course, I'll care. Of course, I want to be there for somebody, but I'm here to find my own connection, respectfully. And being that that's the case, I feel like they were put in a situation to where they had to move throughout life like double-headed and not letting anybody get in us clear her name.
As Ace, who would you consider to be your friend from the villa?
Who I consider to be my friend is the people who support me out loud. And
who are those people?
Doors.
And what he's saying is real. And that's why I don't call YouTubers my friends, because this is the experience that he got where he realizes that people that act like they cool with you behind the scenes, do they really rock with you for real, for real? Can you really depend on these people to have your back? No. I feel like the friend word is used very loosely, and a lot of people are fooled by who is actually their friend or not. And I think that that's what he realized, like, hey, I'm not rocking with a person that tell me one thing behind closed doors, but then when it comes to having my back publicly, you don't have my back publicly. You're not my friend. And I agree with him, like, that's not your friend. Friends are a whole different ballgame. Friends are people that you can count on. Friends are people that in the middle of the night, and if I get a flat tire, can I call you? Will you be here? Like, if we have a falling out, are you going to try to, do the most? Like, no, like, that's not his friend. Okay. And all of that. Somebody said, but these people just met, which is true. They did just meet. But you can meet somebody today that got better intentions for you than somebody that you know your whole life. So as I agree that we shouldn't be acting like they are romantically about to get married tomorrow, any of the people on the show, because they just met, they really haven't known each other that long. As it becomes friendships and stuff like that, you can find out rather quickly if you rock with somebody or not. And you can find out rather quickly the morals that somebody got, if they align with yours or not. As it pertains to friend, you see how somebody move. You can see, okay, this person, I could just put this person in the club category, or I feel like I really could depend on this person, or, all right, this person, like, they solid. Like, you can tell very quickly those things. Now, should any of them be calling each other friends? For real, just met? No, but just because you just met don't mean that you can't find, y'all get what I'm saying. Anyways.
Andrew, obviously me and Shelly more than friends. And Taylor.
That's it.
Brian calls to check in on me from time to time to make sure I'm straight. And that's it.
So me asking you who your friends are, and you name Olandria, Taylor, and maybe Brian. The glaring omission there is Nic.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, like, me and Nic are cool, but like, to say we are super, super close, like we were in the villa, it's not the case, because again, certain instances, I take a look at it for what it is. Coming out this villa, I've seen a lot of people not stand behind what they say and let narratives continue to spin. The people who stood on what exactly happened in the villa after having all the conversations said today to when this interview drops, this is who my current people who are close to me. I respect Olandria, I respect Shelly, I respect Jeremiah, I respect Brian, and I respect Taylor. I'm not super, super close with everybody like that coming outside the villa because I just see certain things on the internet which I don't respect. And I know you probably about to ask me about the whole Nic is not a part of that equation. It's just, again, certain things I don't rock with. I feel like if you're my friend behind closed doors, you're gonna be my friend in public.
Sure.
And again, we all have fun, we joke, we troll. I seen he did a whole tattoo thing, funny as hell. But when it comes to the serious shit regarding my character, that's the things I take serious.
And you feel...
All right. And certain people find certain things to be their, like, all right, so you can have a relationship, right? And you can have somebody who cheating is the, what is the word I'm looking for? Cheating is like the breaking point. Like, they can't take nobody cheating. But then you can have somebody who cheating isn't the breaking point. Getting a girl pregnant is the breaking point. Like, you have people who prioritize certain things that they want out of a friend. He prioritizes somebody taking his character and not playing with it, okay? He prioritizes different things in a friend. And that's basically what he's saying. Like, you might be okay with somebody being phony behind the scenes and not being real. And your tipping point is that they, didn't answer your call, or your tipping point might be, that they talk behind your back, or your tipping point. Like, everybody got different things that they prioritize in a relationship via friendship, via romantic, or whatever. And for him, his morality of like, my brand is attached to my character. You playing with my character and my brand every time you play into these narratives that because you know me in real life, that these don't, like, that's not me for real. So for you to even like not even set the record straight when you have the opportunity to do that, I can't rock with that. So that's kind of what he's saying. Now, when people act like they're being dense on purpose, they try to act like they don't understand that. But then you have to realize everybody wasn't raised the same. Everybody don't have the same priorities. Some people were raised by phony parents and they bred phony kids. Some people were raised on certain morals and they raised their kids to carry those same morals. You have some people you have moms who literally take their kids in the store and teach them how to shoplift. You have moms who, if they child walk out with a candy bar and they know that they didn't pay for it, they're gonna walk you right back in the store, make you give it to the person, and they might call the cops on you they damn self. So you have different people from different backgrounds, and a lot of people tend to gravitate to how they were raised, what they feel is important. And the majority of people are fake and phony. So the majority of people, they resonate with a lower tier moral and standards. Okay. They resonate with the fake shit. Like, you know what I mean? They resonate with the phony. Like, they resonate with that. So when Ace is talking and it's not like kissing Nic's ass because they have created this fairy tale between Nic and Olandria, it burns them up. It burns them up. Like, it literally burns them up. And again, I don't think that I'm not agreeing that it was his place to say that or allow Olandria to be collateral damage. I think that was done in poor taste. But I understand him feeling like, you don't care about my brand. My brand is my money in my bag. and you're playing into these narratives that you know go against me, you can't call yourself a friend. And frankly, I'm not going to give a fuck when it comes to when I'm asked the question to give your brand the same grace. I understand it. Now, do I feel like he should have sunk Olandria along with that? No, but I understand it. That's the difference. Like, I understand where he's coming from. Do I agree that he should have done it this way? No.
Feel like he didn't stand up for you and or silence narratives when he had the opportunity.
And I told him that. I told him, I said, yo, I feel like the answer that you gave was just mad PR, and I didn't respect it. And he was like, well, I'm pretty much over it. So I was like, okay, cool.
He said, I'm pretty much over it?
Yeah, I'm pretty much over the whole thing. Like, so like for me, this is my life, respectfully.
Right. It's not something for you to just be over when I'm receiving these narratives and it's then going to dictate what my future looks like. And he's just over it.
Yeah.
With that being said.
All right. And you get it. Okay. She gets it. All right. Let me put this comment on the screen because she gets it. Again, I don't know if people are being dense on purpose or if they just don't get it because they were not taught, or they just don't get it because, I don't know, they haven't had the life experience. A lot of times, certain knowledge comes from life experience, you know, to understand where people are coming from. Like me being a mom, I used to think that whenever I would whenever I would go into a store and I would see parents, this was before I became a parent myself, I would see parents in a store and I would see their kids throwing a tantrum, and I would be like, how your kid even feel comfortable throwing a tantrum? Like, what type of parent are you, like, that your kid is sitting here throwing a tantrum? When you become a parent, you realize kids got their own personalities. They got their own behaviors, their own temperaments. And as a parent, you can shape and guide them, but they're their own individual. So it's certain things that you realize. And I got caught in a situation till one day I was at the store and I was with my baby. And this is when she was a toddler and she threw a fit that, you know, I'm looking at her like, black kids don't do this. Like, what is you doing? What is happening here? You falling out? Like, what's happening here? You know, and it's certain things that you don't realize until you have experienced it. And there's certain opinions that I had about parents or certain opinions that I had about certain things that I didn't realize until I had the experience. So maybe people aren't being dense. Maybe they just don't have the life experience yet. Maybe that's what it is. But Layla said, Ace is referring to the ringleader narrative. And although Nick didn't speak negatively, he definitely said, I went along with whatever Ace said. That further pushed the narrative. All right. So, and that's just that. It's like, it's not that you didn't say nothing bad about me, but you're playing into what you already know these people are vilifying me over. You get what I'm saying? So it's like when he did that and he thought it was funny, oh, I just went with whatever Ace said, and he's laughing about it. Ace is looking like, nigga, this ain't funny. You know these people are burning me to a stake because of this narrative. And it's like, y'all over here, y'all grown ass men. And I'm looking at it like, I'm not looking at Ace like, oh, he a ringleader. I'm looking at him. I'm looking at these grown ass men like y'all some boneless, spineless followers. Okay. But because everybody wants somebody to blame, they're looking at him like the ringleader. So because he's laughing and playing into it, and that affects Ace, he's looking like, this ain't funny. Like, I don't understand where you think this is funny. When you see these people are trying to cancel me left and right, and you supposed to be my homeboy, and you know, and when somebody is your homeboy, you have conversations with them outside of the ear of the public. Like, you know how I feel about this. You know that this really is affecting me, or you know how I feel about this. So like, you playing around it is like, it's not cool. You know what I mean? So that's kind of what I feel. So then that leads us to the question about,
do you feel like Olandria and Nic's relationship is real? Is this you thinking, or is this your answer? I'm going to assume that that's your answer.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And so that question and that response, when you hear his response to it, the shade was to Nic. But if you got love for Olandria, obviously it's going to make you irritated because it's like, okay, this affect her bag. Like, why you affecting her bag too? But if you listen to the things that come out of his mouth, then you can listen and understand that he's shading Nic. But because he's shading Nic and y'all are romanticizing this unrealistic relationship, you know, people are upset because their girl is attached to Nic and their success is combined.
Is that tough for you because Olandria is someone that you consider to be a close friend?
Yeah, it really is tough for me because again, she just came out here for Shelly's birthday and we all spent a time together at the club and we all kicking and shit like that. So I have a lot of respect for Olandria. But again, from the last conversation that I've had with, Nic, it was a matter of it's not a romantic spark. They just, you know what I'm saying? They find each other attractive.
Nic and Olandria's relationship, you've expressed in silence, you've expressed your opinions on that. Mm-hmm. Do you think that the other relationships that have come from Love Island are real?
Yeah, Taylor and Clark, I know that's for sure real.
And the other ones, not so much, or? Do you think people are aware of the benefits to being in a relationship coming out of
100%? 100%. I feel like when people come out this villa and they see, a certain community rocking behind, certain, ships, they're like, okay, let's take advantage of that type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like,
all right. And the people taking advantage of it, I don't think they're wrong. If people are going to be gullible and think that they are in love after 1 week, then and that gullibility, like them being gullible, is funding you. I mean, Che, I'm not mad at them. Like, if they want to be gullible and think this Nic, who wasn't even really truly locked in with Sierra, was looking for any woman that if another woman that he truly liked came into the villa, he would have definitely dropped Sierra as a hot potato. He locked in with Sierra because he felt threatened that guy came in there and he was going to be X'd off the show. He locked it in with her. And if he truly was this upstanding guy, he would not have been moving like he is. But because she got removed from the show, Olandria got coupled up with him. They over there together for a week. People are marrying them off and their kids would look so cute. And now, being that they both said, they on the reunion, they both said, we're still dating each other. Now the goalpost has moved. Before they verbally said, we're just dating each other, these people were marrying them off. They put them in marriages. They already planning their wedding. They planning what their kids look like. They planning all those things. But now that they have said that they're still dating, and you know what I mean? Which I respect them for not taking just going extreme with it. now that they have said that on the reunion, now the goalpost has moved. Now the goalpost is, oh, well, they're dating for now and then they're going to get married. Like, you know, now people are acting like they wasn't marrying them off just a week ago. Now it's like, oh, well, we knew that they were just dating and we knew that they were just getting to know each other and we knew that they were just now connecting. And it's like, no, y'all was literally planning their wedding last week. Like, y'all was literally planning their wedding. Like, that was literally what y'all was doing. Y'all was blending their photos together. Y'all was trying to create babies for them. Y'all were literally creating this fantasy happily ever after last week. But now that Ace has said this, and now that they said that they're dating one another, now it's, oh, well, we knew that they were just getting to know each other. Of course they have to like date first. And it's like, child, be for real. Like, be for real. Okay. Be all the way for real. And like Speedy said, a lot of people don't understand the benefit. They get more money together because y'all are gullible, thinking that they are in love. Y'all buy into this brand. This brand produces money. This brand is what y'all are, funneling. So, it makes sense to fake it. But in reality, you can't really, if you fake, like, say Brian, right? Brian ain't really into Amaya. He over here, because of the bag, he got to fake like he in a relationship with her. But all the while, he's seeing girls that he really want to link with. Now I can't, like, now, damn, if I really want to, like, talk to her, I really, you stuck in a rock and a hard place because you're not really invested in this relationship for real. But you know that that's where the money is at and the bag is at. But you know what I mean? You want to live your life as well. So that's that. Now, people also got mad at, somebody said it's 2025. We know reality shows aren't real. Obviously, most of America doesn't. Okay. Most of America thinks that Nic and Olandria are going to get married next week. Okay. Most of them think that they are about to get married off. All right. So no. But anyways, now you have people mad at Speedy. So in defense of his interview with Ace, he basically came online and he had something to say, and people are against him as well. Same way they're gonna be against me in this video, but hey.
So today you may have seen a clip, or you may have seen a portion of an interview when someone was asked if they felt as if a relationship was real. And while you are absolutely entitled to have your opinion on that, I do want to say that some people may have more information than you have. They may know things that you don't know. They may be aware of things that transpired that you don't know. They may have seen and witnessed things that you have not seen. Or you may see somebody have an opinion on a relationship. I would just say maybe, just maybe, they know something that you don't. Because if what I was told off camera is true,
all right. So that's what Speedy said. And in the comments, people are burning him to a stake. They're burning Speedy to a stake the same way they are burning Ace to a stake. And I was like, child, y'all just want to like at this point, the people would rather live in delusion. Okay. And that's just what it is. They want to live in delusion. Okay. Because what he said is absolutely facts. If you know somebody in real life, you're going to know more about them than the general public. You're going to know. And obviously, if you went on a show together, you're going to know what people said. You're going to know what certain plots are. You're going to know the behind the scenes in and out more than the general public. And a lot of times, because people come up with their own narrative and their own fantasy fairy tales, they can't take it. So now they're vilifying Speedy because he said the truth. There is perhaps people who know these people in real life that you don't know in real life that may have information about them and know things that you don't know. And they're forming their opinion based on the things that they know to be true in real life that you have not experienced or even know. Okay. And so there's that. Someone says, I would be like, thanks for the view, Speedy. Yeah, people were going at Speedy too. They were mad at Speedy because he even asked the question. There was a lot of people vilifying Speedy, saying, oh, you messy for asking this question. You messy for this and that. Oh, you this turned you from being a true journalist to a blogger style. And what Speedy did was ask the tough questions that he was supposed to ask. He wasn't supposed to ask the the safe stuff. He was supposed to get to the nitty and gritty. Like, he was supposed to ask, do you think it's real? Because that's the conversation that's happening online. People are deciding and they're talking about whether or not the relationship is real. So if you have the person able to speak to it, you're supposed to ask all of the burning questions that the people want to know. That's something that people wanted to know. And that's just what it is. You know? So I just wanted to speak on my very, 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 very unpopular opinion. And tell my point of view based on what I think. Now, again, I know that this ain't going to be a popular opinion, and I'm not tussling with anybody in the comments. I'm going to try not to. It's hard. It's very hard because I like to tussle. And people be getting besides theyself sometimes, a lot of times, most of the time. So it's hard not to really like, girl, who are you talking to in the comments? Because they already, girl, who is you talking to in the chat? So I'm going to try not to tussle with anybody in the comments because, you know, I already know my opinion is not popular. And so I already know that people flock with, you know, takes that they've been deemed to take. Okay. That, you know, go with whatever. Anyways, so with that being said, I'm about to work on some more videos, but I just wanted to talk on that really quick because I was seeing a lot of the chatter surrounding this and I was just like, whew, child, it's crazy. It's crazy. You said all of what Ace said really didn't need to be said when it comes to others' relationships. Are y'all mad at the other people when they're asked questions and they speak on other people's relationships? Like, all of them are being asked about each other. All of them are asking questions about each other. Like, all of them are speaking about one another's relationships. It's just that when others speak about the relationship, they giving you PR, pandering answers, so you okay with it, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, that was just my take on it. You know, whenever I do these unpopular opinions, you know, people be unfollowing. I can't stand her. I'm unfollowing, and it's okay. It's okay, child. It is okay. You know, my best friend told me I should start pandering to y'all and just going with popular opinion because that's what's gonna pay the bills more and that's what's gonna get me more followers. And he told me, like, when you look at a story, just pander to the people. Like, they're gullible, so just pander to them. And I just can't do it. Like, I just cannot do it. And I be questioning, I'm like, I don't know. I just be questioning my path because, child, I'm like, the way that I view things and the way that I look at situations, a lot of times it be so polar opposite from the masses that I'm like, I don't know. You said rage bait pays more. I don't think so. I think pandering pays more, to be honest. Pandering pays a lot more. Pandering, trust me, I look at my peers. I talk to them behind the scenes and I get their real takes and I see what they say on they platforms and it be a lot of pandering. Okay. So, and I be looking at, you know, they stats, they views and it works for them. You know, but I'm just like one of those people to where it's like, I'm not going to attach myself to a celebrity fan base and act like I fake like everything that they do just to try to get their followers. I'm not going to, it's just certain things that I don't care to do. Like, and a lot of people too, like when they see my platform, they think that I'm where I'm at because I don't know how to get like a bigger following. Like a lot of people be like, oh, well, you know, at this point you should be at 1 million subscribers, or, oh, at this point, like I can be if I chose the route that a lot of other people take, like I can be, but it's an acquired taste and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with, you know, the people who get it and the people who don't. Like I'm okay with that. Like, would I be mad at 1 million? No, obviously not. But I just can't do it. Like, I just can't. I just really can't do it. I just can't. But it pays well. And I'm not where I'm at because I'm dumb. I'm at where I'm at because I'm comfortable where I'm at because I know what I'm willing to do and what I'm not willing to do. And that's just that. But all right. You said I thought engagement counts more than followers. Well, that's what other YouTubers say. Yeah, engagement counts. Engagement counts. So the more views you get, the better. Like I could have 1,000 followers and 1 million people can watch my video. But what makes people share a video more is because it's something in it that makes them intrigued. Like a lot of times it's because this person, like, oh damn, I was thinking the same way, you know, and they share your video, and a lot of people will share a video quicker and support you quicker if you adopt their thinking. Like a lot of the guys who make it far in the red pill community is because they adopt the same thinking as the men speaking. Like they think that same way about women. So when they are interested into their content, they're going to share it. They're going to support it. They're going to donate to it. They're going to super chat. Like you're going to get a bigger following based on the people that support you the most and give you the most engagement. And when you get the most engagement, it's because people are rocking with what you say. It's the popular, it's like more so like the popular opinion. It's like the larger opinion. Okay. And, you know, that's what supported more, if that makes sense. But yeah. But yeah, so but yeah, with that being said, I'm gonna end this video. I have a lot more topics that I'm gonna cover. I might go live again. But let me see. I might go live again, refresh my page if you like. And I'll